The stage of Ireland's Got Talent is buzzing with anticipation. Bright lights dance across the vast auditorium, casting a golden glow on the excited audience. Whispers ripple through the crowd as the next act is announced. Please welcome Maria and her son Daniel, from the Philippines. From the shadows, a small hand appears first, tiny fingers clutching onto a larger reassuring palm. Slowly a Filipino mother steps forward, her posture gentle yet determined, guiding her young son onto the stage. The boy's big brown eyes dart nervously around the huge theater, overwhelmed by the size of the crowd. The mother squeezes his hand, whispering something softly in Tagalog. Words of comfort only a child could truly understand. The audience claps politely, their curiosity piqued. It's unusual to see a duet between mother and child on such a stage, especially one so young. Cameras zoom in on Simon Cowell, who is watching closely, his trademark stern expression in place. He raises an eyebrow, clearly skeptical. The other judges, Louise, Michelle and Jason, exchange small smiles, intrigued but not yet convinced. Maria steps up to the microphone. Her voice trembles slightly as she introduces herself. Hello, my name is Maria, and this is my son Daniel. We come from the Philippines, and tonight, we will sing together. Her accent is thick, but her words are clear and heartfelt. The audience reacts warmly with supportive applause. Daniel clutches his mother's arm and whispers, "Mama, I'm scared." Maria bends down to meet his eyes, smiling with quiet strength. Anak, remember what we practiced. Just look at me. Forget about the people, it's just you and me, like always. This tender exchange is caught on the big screen, and the crowd immediately feels a wave of affection. Parents in the audience nod knowingly, touched by the universal language of a mother's encouragement. Some even clasp their hands to their hearts, as if silently cheering the boy on. Simon, however, remains unconvinced. He leans forward, resting his chin on his hand, as if preparing to critique. Viewers at home can almost sense his doubt. Another sweet backstory, but will the performance deliver? The stagehands finish setting up the microphones. The spotlight tightens on the pair, and the theater grows quiet. Daniel's knees shake slightly. He looks out into the sea of faces, his breath quickening. For a moment it seems he might bolt, but Maria gently places her hand on his shoulder, steadying him. Remember, she mouths silently. Just sing with me. The audience collectively holds its breath. There's a powerful silence, one of those rare moments before something magical happens, when time itself seems to pause. The lights dim further, leaving only a soft glow around the mother and son. The boy inhales deeply, his chest rising as he prepares himself. Then, the opening notes of a piano begin to play. The melody is slow and emotional, instantly recognizable to many as a timeless ballad. The judges perk up slightly. The choice of song is bold, one that requires both strength and vulnerability. Maria looks down at her son, nods once, and then lifts her gaze to the audience. With calm determination she begins to sing. Her voice is warm, textured, and deeply emotional, like honey flowing over the strings of a violin. Her opening line resonates across the theater, pulling the audience into her story. Daniel stares at his mother, listening intently. He clutches the microphone, stand with both hands, his small knuckles white with nervousness. The camera zooms in on his trembling lips, his hesitation plain for all to see. The crowd seems to silently urge him on. Come on, little one, you can do it. Maria glances at him once more, her eyes filled with love. She lowers her voice slightly, leaving space in the melody. It's a subtle signal, your turn. Daniel swallows hard. Then, almost shyly, he opens his mouth and begins to sing. The moment his voice fills the auditorium, the energy shifts. His tone is pure, angelic, and unexpectedly strong for someone so small. Gasps escape from the crowd. The judge's eyes widen in surprise. Even Simon blinks, sitting up straighter, his doubt cracking just a little. Daniel's voice weaves into his mother's, the harmony fragile at first but growing steadier with every note. The blend of their voices creates a sound so unique, so heartfelt, that the entire audience is instantly captivated. What began as nerves transforms into something extraordinary, the unmistakable bond of family expressed through music. By now, Daniel has forgotten his fear. He looks up at his mother with shining eyes, his voice growing louder and more confident. Maria smiles proudly, her own voice soaring as she matches his energy. The crowd begins to clap along softly, swept up in the tenderness of the moment. Even before the song reaches its peak, it's clear. This is not just another audition. This is a story unfolding. On stage, a mother and son, carrying their love across oceans, standing in front of strangers, daring to share their hearts. And all of it began with one small, nervous entrance. The melody lingers in the air, wrapping itself around the hushed auditorium. Maria's voice is carrying the first verse with graceful control, and Daniel has already stunned the crowd by daring to join in. What seemed like a tender experiment between mother and child is quickly blossoming into something extraordinary. As Maria glides through her lines, she adjusts her tone, lower, steadier, creating space for her son. She leans toward him slightly, signaling his moment. The boy's small chest rises and falls as he draws in a deep breath. Then, like a bird taking flight, his voice breaks free once again. The sound is startling in its purity, clear, angelic, innocent yet confident. It's the kind of tone that silences doubters in a single note. The audience reacts instantly. Gasps ripple across the theater, followed by a swell of applause that interrupts the flow of the song. But Maria and Daniel don't falter. They stay locked in, their eyes meeting as if to say, "It's just us, Anak, keep going." Simon Cowell, who moments ago looked prepared to deliver a sharp critique, now leans forward. His eyes widen slightly, the faintest hint of a smile tugging at the corners of his lips. He isn't quick to praise, but this is something different, something that has caught even him off guard. Daniel's voice rises higher, weaving around his mother's rich contralto like a ribbon in the wind. Their harmony feels natural, unpracticed yet flawless, as though their bond as family translates into sound. Each note seems to carry years of shared love, laughter, and late-night practice sessions in a tiny living room far from this grand stage. The audience begins to sway, many holding their phones high to capture the moment. A woman in the front row wipes tears from her eyes, whispering to the person beside her, "'Tis is beautiful, just beautiful." Up in the balcony, a father places his arm around his daughter, visibly moved by the sight of the mother and son singing side by side. The song builds. Maria takes a step back, giving Daniel the spotlight. He belts out a line that climbs higher than anyone expected, his voice ringing out with a kind of raw emotion that can't be taught. The theater erupts, cheers, applause, whistles, but he doesn't flinch. For the first time the boy looks out into the sea of faces, his fear melting away into joy. The judges are stunned. Louise presses her hands together under her chin, shaking her head in disbelief. Michelle is visibly emotional, her eyes glistening with tears. Jason claps along with the crowd, clearly enjoying every second, and Simon, known worldwide for his stoic, sometimes harsh demeanor, leans back in his chair with a slow nod, his eyes locked on the duo. The camera zooms in on Daniel's face. He isn't just singing now, he's living the song. Every lyric, every note is infused with his heart. Maria joins in again, her deeper tones grounding his soaring high notes, creating a breathtaking harmony that sends shivers down spines. Together, they sound not like amateurs, but like seasoned performers destined for greatness. The music swells toward the chorus. The lights brighten, illuminating a halo around them. Golden hues wash over the stage, as if foreshadowing what is yet to come. The audience, already on their feet, begins clapping rhythmically, urging them on. The atmosphere is electric, thousands of hearts beating as one, carried by the music. Maria looks down at her son with tears shimmering in her eyes. She knows this moment is bigger than the two of them. This isn't just about singing, it's about proving that love, courage, and unity can create miracles. She reaches for his hand mid-song, squeezing it as their voices intertwine for the climax. And then it happens. The note. The kind of note that lives in memory forever. Daniel hits a soaring high, his voice trembling with both power and vulnerability, while Maria harmonizes beneath him, steady as an anchor. The sound fills every corner of the auditorium, echoing like a prayer answered. The crowd loses control. The cheering drowns out the final chords of the piano. People leap to their feet, clapping, screaming, crying. It's not just applause, it's a standing ovation in the middle of the performance. The energy is overwhelming, like a tidal wave crashing over the stage. Daniel's eyes widen in disbelief at the sea of people standing for him. He glances at his mother, unsure if he should stop. But Maria keeps singing, finishing the last lines with unshakable grace. The boy steadies himself, and together they deliver the final note, a perfect harmony that fades into silence. For a split second, there is nothing, just the lingering echo of that last note. And then, as if on cue, the theater explodes again. The applause is deafening. The audience roars with approval, stamping their feet, waving their arms. Golden confetti hasn't even fallen yet. But the energy feels like a celebration already. Maria bends down, pulling her son into a tight embrace. Daniel clings to her, his small shoulders shaking with tears of relief, joy and disbelief. The cameras catch the moment, and across the world, viewers watching at home feel their hearts swell. Simon is still clapping, a rare sight. He looks at the other judges, who are visibly moved, and then back at the stage. For once, he seems speechless. The unexpected has happened. What began as a nervous entrance has transformed into a performance that no one will ever forget. And the night isn't over yet. The final harmony fades into silence, hanging in the air like a fragile piece of glass. For a heartbeat, the entire theater is utterly still. No one even breathes. Then, like a storm breaking, the audience erupts into thunderous applause. The crowd is on its feet, roaring with cheers and stamping their feet against the floor. Some are waving their arms, others wiping tears from their eyes. The camera pans across faces filled with awe, parents hugging their children tightly, strangers holding hands in shared emotion. It isn't just applause, it's a collective outpouring of love. On stage, Daniel clings to his mother's waist, overwhelmed. His tiny body trembles, his cheeks glisten with tears, and his chest heaves from the effort of singing his heart out. Maria bends down, wrapping her arms around him. Her tears fall into his hair as she whispers, "Anak, we did it. We really did it." The judges stand too. Louise dabs her eyes with a tissue, shaking her head in disbelief. Michelle clasps her hands over her heart, visibly emotional. Jason is grinning from ear to ear, clapping so hard his hands turn red. And then there's Simon. Simon Cowell, the man known for his icy composure, is no longer leaning back in detached skepticism. He is standing, clapping slowly, his eyes locked on the mother and son as though he has just witnessed something life-changing. There is no smirk, no sarcastic remark waiting on his lips. Instead there's something rare, genuine respect. Maria looks out at the sea of cheering faces, tears streaming down her own cheeks now. Daniel, though still shaky, raises his head just enough to take in the sight. The lights, the audience, the judges all standing for him. His eyes widen, and he blurts out softly, almost in disbelief, "Mama, they liked us." The crowd reacts with laughter and louder applause at his innocent words. Maria hugs him tighter, unable to speak through her sobs. Simon takes a step forward, reaching for the microphone in front of him. The audience begins to hush, eager for his response. His voice, usually sharp and calculated, comes out softer than expected. "I'll be honest. I wasn't sure what to expect when you walked out here. But that performance..." He pauses, visibly moved, searching for the right words. "That was magical. I mean it. What you two just did. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it." The crowd cheers again, but Simon isn't done. He looks directly at Daniel. Young man, your voice. It's pure, it's powerful, and it touched everyone in this room. And your mother." He glances at Maria with genuine admiration. "The bond between you two created something we'll never forget." Before Maria can even respond, something remarkable happens. Simon glances at the other judges, then looks down at the golden button in front of him. The crowd sees it too, and instantly the energy shifts. A chant begins to rise from the audience. "Golden buzzer, golden buzzer, golden buzzer." Maria covers her mouth, already trembling. Daniel looks confused, tugging on her sleeve. "Mama, what's happening?" he asks, his small voice barely audible. Simon places both hands on the button, leaning forward with a rare smile. "I don't need to think twice," he says. "This is your moment." And then, he slams the golden buzzer. The auditorium explodes. Golden confetti bursts from the ceiling, showering the stage in shimmering light. The audience screams with joy, their cheers almost drowning out the triumphant music that blares through the speakers. People are jumping, clapping, even crying in the stands. On stage, Daniel's jaw drops. He stares at the falling glitter, his small hands reaching out to catch the sparkling pieces. His innocent laughter rings out across the theater, pure and infectious. Maria collapses to her knees, overcome with emotion, her hands covering her face as tears stream freely. The hosts rush out from the side of the stage, joining in the celebration. One kneels down to Daniel's level, asking, "How do you feel right now, buddy?" Daniel beams, his cheeks flushed pink, his tiny fists full of golden confetti. "Shin feel like a superhero," he shouts, making the crowd laugh and cheer even louder. Maria finally stands, still crying, and lifts her son into her arms. She spins him in a circle under the golden rain, both of them laughing and crying all at once. The cameras capture every second, the moment destined to be replayed millions of times around the world. Back at the judges' table, Michelle is clapping through her tears, whispering to Louise, "This is why we do this show. This right here." Jason nods, adding, "That's a once-in-a-lifetime performance." But all eyes return to Simon, who remains standing. His voice cuts through the chaos once more. "And Maria and Daniel, Ireland has just fallen in love with you, and so have I." The audience roars. Maria bows deeply, holding Daniel close. Daniel, still giggling, waves shyly at the judges and crowd. Golden confetti sticks to his hair, his clothes, even his eyelashes. The image is unforgettable. A child who dared to sing with his mother, now standing in the glow of victory. As the music swells and the lights dance across the theater, one thing is clear: this isn't just another audition. It's a moment that will be remembered for years. A mother and son, standing together, proving that love and courage can truly move the world. And it all ends beneath a storm of gold.